Envying people like that, it's not going to give you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere at all, because all it is going to get you is just confusion. Like, why is this person getting love but I'm not? It's a very simple question that can make you, that can get you fucked up. What's going on, my Paisanos? Welcome back to a brand new special KamyKam video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about something very, very deep. Now, if you guys don't know, in today's society, a lot of society will say to you is that you shouldn't die young and that you should always have a partner by your side. Now, while that is true in a lot of cases and around the world and everything, finding love is harder than it actually sounds, and what you have to do for it is crazy. There's lots of dating advice, there's lots of toxic dating advice, there's feminism, there's freaking toxic masculinity. And I just want to, I guess, start talking about this kind of stuff because it's very held and very true and dear to me. Because a lot of people will say in today's world that love kind of is just bullshit. It doesn't exist. A lot of people, actually my age, I'm 21 by the way, usually don't like to date. And if they do date, it's only like a select lucky few. It's basically, we live in a society now where a lot of people's minds are messed up nowadays in terms of like being misconstrued about the entire concept of dating. And there's lots of different factors with that. I mean, we could go crazy in terms of like what I could say about all of that, but in my all honesty, I just want to start in this one video talking about what did I go through. Now, a couple months ago, I actually saw this video called 6 Signs That You've Given Up on Love Unintentionally. I watched this video a little while ago, and actually it did strike a very hard chord with me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to actually react to it because, you know, I was going through a lot of stuff at the time, didn't have a computer, and it just was not working. But now, since I'm starting this whole entire variety commentary channel type stuff, I thought this, you know, what better time than to do it now, because obviously got to talk about something, right? Again, if you guys want me to talk about anything specific that you guys want me to talk about anyway, then go on ahead and put in the comment section down below. But for right now, I just want to talk about something that really, you know, just holds true and deep to me. All right, so this this video is made by Psych2Go. They actually make some pretty good videos. I'm not gonna lie, I do recommend it if you guys want to you know, talk about or think about like all the, you know, psychology and stuff like that. I'm not really too much into it, but I'm going to talk about this video mostly after you watch it. So let's watch this.
Hello, Psych2Goers, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for the love and support that you've given us, enabling us to make yet another exploration into everyday psychology. So let's begin. Do you ever feel like you can't seem to get lucky in love, no matter how hard you try? You're trying all the things, going out to meet new people, dating apps, trying to engage in conversations with people, and hoping to find a deeper connection with them, being open-minded to the possibility of finding love. Despite all that, are you starting to feel discouraged? Are you wondering where your right match is? Dating can be a scary experience, a daunting one.
Now, in all honesty, I have felt all of that before. I definitely have, you know, felt open to the possibility of having love. I've actually liked girls and the possibility of being in a relationship ever since I was like 4 years old. Actually, I've always been like kind of into that. But it seems like for me, it's, you know, I've had little things here and there. I've been with a lot of different girls, but I never had a real relationship, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've done everything besides have a relationship. It's kind of weird because I just never have found anybody personally who really vibes with me and gets down with me, you know, that isn't a friend or a family member. And, you know, even if I do usually have someone that is up and coming, something usually completely crazy or out of nowhere happens. You know, I understand what this person is saying though, like this whole thing with the dating app stuff and being open-minded and all this other stuff.
Apps, trying to engage in conversations with people and
trying to like talk to people and trying to like understand who they really are and stuff like that. I'm not trying to get too mushy with this video, but I will say that I definitely have felt like this a lot of times in my life.
Here's a quick reminder that this video is for educational purposes only, and not to suggest that these signs mean that you've given up on finding love or that you should if you're feeling like this. Reaching out to people you trust to talk about how you feel can be a great help. Number 1, if a date doesn't go well or to plan, you shut down. Before going in, do you have certain expectations about a date, only to find it falls miserably short of those expectations? You may feel you have a good connection with a person prior to the date, but when you meet in person, it just doesn't feel right.
Now, because to be really honest here, it's not that bad. I mean, this is just comes with like expectations and, you know, just feeling a vibe with someone that you really want to feel with someone, and then you don't feel it, and it's like kind of crazy. Like, damn, like really, I put all this emotion into it. It's very daunting. Personally, sometimes you do kind of have to lower your expectations in some way, shape, or form. But I will say that, you know, people who say that you have to do it all the time and you should not really be expecting a lot of things. If you do that all the time, just gonna be honest with you guys, you're never gonna really find someone who you actually like. You might just be kind of like forcing yourself to actually engage with that person. And a lot of people actually really do that. People are very superficial. Like a lot of people see stuff on the, you know, the surface level, and they always look at that stuff and be like, wow, this is exactly what I want. It could be anything from, oh yeah, this girl can cook, this girl looks good, this guy, you know, vice versa, of course, with guys or with whatever gender you're into. But it's really just not that simple, because a lot of people do get into relationships and marriages like that, and eventually those fall short because of those superficial and honestly very shallow expectations. Now, I'm not going to get into a whole entire goddamn rant about that, but I think people at this point in time should at least have an idea of maybe a reason why like they feel like this, because at this point it's just so obvious that the reason why some people just kind of fall out of love is because the foundation for that love in the first place, or whatever the fuck they were doing, wasn't good at all. Like it's very, very simple, but people really just don't understand that.
But instead of being honest with that person and telling them that you're not feeling it, you find yourself beating yourself up about why you can't find the right person and may feel like you're starting to mentally give up.
I have felt like that so many different times in my life. It is insane. I've tried to stop talking, and my problem is that I've always tried to like do that. I've tried to like stop with the whole dating thing, and unfortunately, like for some reason, there's a long video that comes with that, but I've always wanted to have someone there for me all the time, and a lot of great other stuff. There's a lot of stuff to go with that. But I've always like kind of like relapsed and said, oh wait, you know, I don't feel like dating any girls right now. But then next day, like, oh yeah, I need to date someone right now. Right now, I'm actually kind of going through that. I just went through a completely terrible situation. The person was, there's a whole entire video for that. That situation really fucked me up though, and it's kind of different. So I would say that has officially made me stop wanting to actually engage with like relationships right now. If you actually have trouble with doing that too, you really do have to like find out your self-worth and how much you love yourself. Because personally for me, I think that was my problem. I didn't understand how much of a great and awesome person I was, and that I shouldn't have another person to sustain myself. For me personally, I don't know if anybody relates to this, but I actually have a lot of times where I usually imagine someone in my head, like some great, awesome person that loves me unconditionally, like goes crazy for me. And honestly, now that I think about it, it's not really that healthy to really, you know, think about it like that. Because that person is obviously not going to have no doubt. If that person was real, that person is not going to have any damn or much self-respect for themselves, because they're going to be loving up on you. And if you hurt them in some way, shape, or form, there's a big hazard for that, because you don't know what this person could do. You don't know what could happen, and you could mess up that person for life. And unfortunately, I mean, sometimes that's just the way it is. People do really get involved with love and stuff like that, and it is kind of sad. But at the end of the day, if you really do think about that type of stuff, I understand like sometimes it is really great to think about someone that would be clinging all over you. But for one thing, you have to think about how many times will I be engaged with this person? Will I have a time to have time to myself? Will this person get really hurt if I fucking hurt her in some way, shape, or form, intentionally or not? I don't know. That really just struck a chord with me just now. I don't know if you guys could tell, but it really did.
Number 2. You don't take up opportunities to meet new people anymore.
This is a big thing. People who really just give up on love, you guys might be watching this video and you might feeling the same thing. You might have just stopped. You might have just like started staying in the house all the time and started to like, really just give the heck up on everybody. I'm just going to say to you guys right now, don't do that. All right. I mean, at least, try to, meander yourself in your way into like talking to friends or stuff like that. Cause you always got to think, like for me, it's actually kind of helped to think of it like, oh yeah, I don't have to have sex with this person. I don't have to, have a relationship with this person. I can just be friends with this person. And if that person you got to let that person know, because if the person is still trying to do things and you don't let them know, and even if you do tell them and they still keep going, then you're supposed to understand and evaluate and act on those reasons. Because I understand, like, it might be okay for you to just stay by yourself for a while. And, maybe I could be full of shit. Maybe there are some people out there who would actually greatly prefer to doing that. But personally, for me, I just can't do that. I have to at least talk to someone about, like, at least in some way, shape, or form about what's going on with my feelings and whatnot and stuff like that. I know it's kind of weird because I'm a guy, but I don't know.
I know it's not going to work out. Do these phrases sound familiar?
Wow.
You shut down potential opportunities for friends or family to set you up with somebody because you're quick to assume the worst. It's harder now to let your guard down and get out of that negative mindset.
Oh, yeah.
If you feel that you'd rather binge Netflix than go out and meet people, that may suggest that mentally you've given up on seeking love.
That was a big one. Usually for me, it's just like, hey, just go watch some cartoon or anime. No, probably more likely cartoon or something like that. Help you get your mind back right. Usually that's what I do. But it's really unhealthy for me. But, at the same time, I think, just to block yourself from everybody just because of what happened, it's not really healthy. But I understand that some people do use this to heal themselves.
Number 3. You feel jealous when you see or are around other couples.
Now, this is a big one. I don't know about what's going on recently, but a lot of people that I know, a lot of people, like the friends and family that I have a lot of stuff going on, okay? One of my best friends, my best friend, he has this girlfriend, and they met, and they kind of just went off. They just kind of popped off. I have this other friend, she has this person that she was with. It didn't go all that well, but it was, they still had something there. And there's all these people with these friends and family. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe just that season, or maybe it's just how it is usually. But you shouldn't like look at that. I would say that that's usually like envy, because you might be saying to yourself when you look at those people, oh, why can't I have that? Or I'm going to have that someday or something like that. And while that is not that bad in the grand scheme of things, if you're really just looking at it in an optimistic point of view, I would say that don't ever envy anybody. Okay, first off, envying people is just bad. Okay, I'm religious, so for me it's a sin. Envying people like that, it's not going to give you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere at all, because all it is going to get you is just confusion. Like, why is this person getting love but I'm not? It's a very simple question that can get you fucked up. It really can. So don't ever try to envy people. Don't just compare yourself to anybody else. It's really hard, I know. But at the end of the day, people have their own lives that they're living. Even if you are in their lives, they still have their own decisions and stuff. And just because you're not getting anybody doesn't mean that you're never going to get anybody. And it just might just be in a different time. Everybody's lives are different.
Do you constantly feel like the third wheel? You may notice that your friends are starting to settle down into long-term relationships.
Yep.
Cohabitation, and even marriage as a result.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You find yourself...
And having kids. That's a big one as well. A lot of people that I'm starting to realize are now starting to have kids. And it's really weird because I feel like I still kind of just got out of high school, even though that was like 3 years ago. But still, like, oh my God. It's kind of baffling. I don't know if you guys can really relate to that.
Drifting further and further away from them. Whether this is intentional or not, if you're upset about
Although
being
that's
single,
kind of very toxic in my opinion. Like if people like they start like drifting away from you after they find someone else. Although that does happen in some way, shape, or form, it's inevitable because that person is always in their life and talking to them and engaging with them. At the end of the day, it is kind of toxic sometimes when that person completely like cuts you off in a way after they finally find someone after like they finally they find someone to actually be with. Because it can make you feel like you're alone. I know that I have felt like that a lot of times. I got a couple stories with that, and it's really fucked up though. I would not recommend doing that.
being around people who are romantically involved might just be a little too much to handle.
Yep.
Number 4, you've gotten it into your head that everybody is playing games.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna put nothing on this. No filter. No nothing. I still kind of feel like that. Okay, not everybody, but I feel like a large majority of people do play games. I think it's kind of fact at this point that people do like to play games with relationships and stuff. Well, and that's also not really that healthy. But I would say that it is good to be cautious about if people are trying to play games with you or not, because that's how people really try to get love and affection and stuff like that nowadays, and hurting people and stuff like that. Sometimes it can work if you just like do a little mischievous thing here and there, try to make them wanting more and stuff like that, or make them, it's like sometimes it's okay, but in all honesty, like, to have this mindset about everybody though, that's the real problem. Not everybody plays games. There's some legit people out there who want like no low context, no filter, all that stuff. They don't want any of these games. Now, it might be a little bit harder to find them nowadays because of society, but they are still there, and they're more prevalent than you think.
Number 5, you may consider settling for someone you don't love or you have unrealistic expectations with.
Don't do any of that. Don't ever lower your expectations, and never just unrealistically set them. You kind of have to have a balance in there. You say to yourself, hey, I can't find this person anymore, so I might as well just date somebody who's less than that. Or you find someone, or you say to yourself, okay, I want this girl. She's 4'11". All right. Big booty, big fat booty. It's 14 feet wide. It's so good. It's so great. She has the fattest ass. She can cook. She can specifically cook only fried chicken, which is the only thing I like, and freaking roast beef and ribs. All right. She can cook that. She can cook noodles, and she also has purple hair for no reason. She's Latina. She also uses only Cantu in her hair, and she only uses this one specific perfume that I only like. If you do that, then obviously you're the problem. If you do either one of those things, you are the problem, because again, you're putting expectations, way too high.
There are benefits to having a life partner, even if the two of you are not passionately in love. You may be perfectly happy with this. However, on the flip side, you may feel like you have to settle rather than wait for the love of your life.
Yup, and a lot of people do that. It's very common.
On the other hand, you may set unrealistic expectations about who you want to be with, when in reality this person may not exist. Your unticked checklist may result in you giving up on the prospect of love altogether.
Oh, if there was only one person that actually did exist. Oh my God. Hey, Mookie. If only you existed.
And number 6, you feel that you're unable to love another person deeply.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This might actually apply to me still. I'll just mention this. The last little relationship that I've kind of been in was really bad. And it was a very traumatic ass experience. It was actually the first relationship that I kind of was in where I actually liked the person. Like I was legit interested in them. This girl told me her favorite color and I actually remembered it. But it was a crazy relationship, but it went bad. It went terrible. I opened up myself to this girl. It wasn't too much, but I did kind of like her a lot. And a lot of stuff, bad stuff happened. And at this point in time, I really evaluated and looked at my options and stuff like that. A lot of little side comment, a lot of guys will tell you that guys don't really have options. We do. It's just that we refine our options a lot and we don't really try to pick the bad ones. And that's why girls like to say that they have options, but they really don't, because a lot of them are really not that good. But in all honesty, though, I don't think I can really open up myself emotionally to the next person as much. I will say that I will make an attempt, but right now I'm kind of steel cold about my emotions. And this is just an unfortunate byproduct of the situation I was in. To never open up yourself to someone means that you're repressing a lot of the stuff that's going on with you that this person could legit help you with if they truly do love you. Now, the situation could be definitely different for anybody else. I mean, we're not the same. Okay, we're all unique human beings here. But don't ever close up your feelings completely for too long, because that person that actually could legit help you in the end, who knows what could happen. This person could give too much for so little, or they could leave. It happens. It definitely does. And there's nothing that you can do about it unless you open yourself up. And unfortunately, I'm going to be honest, I just can't do it. Not right now. And that's the reason why I'm actually kind of not talking to anybody, besides the fact that I'm trying to love myself and understand that I'm actually an awesome person, which I know I am. But it's a lot of questions and not a lot of answers with that. All right, so at this point in the video, it kind of goes into like, what you can do for the help. And honestly, you can watch the original video if you want to know their opinion. But for me, my personal opinion on this matter is definitely, like they were saying before, talk to people. Let them know like what's going on with you, because they can help you give a good perspective on what's going on. And maybe if you're a bad person, or if you're good, or what if you were right and wrong or something like that. Let them know everything. They'll help you a lot. A lot of my friends and my family that have actually been by my side have led me to like great big epiphanies recently. Just realizing what the hell was going on with me in my relationships and stuff like that. It's crazy, but it works. But I say that all to say, though, that as a guy who can't give up, I'm going to be honest. I got to let you guys know that giving up on something that that would make you happy is never a good thing. Never, ever give up on something that you actually passionately believe in. If you do believe that someone out there is waiting for you, that you're going to be in a great relationship and whatnot, then go on ahead and believe so. And look, and maybe not even look for it. Maybe you can look for it. Maybe it hasn't worked out. Maybe wait for that to come to you. Sometimes it's just so spontaneous that I hear from a lot of people. It's crazy. It's like it's sometimes meant to be. I'm telling you, I've always believed in the notion that there is legit one person out there for everybody. And, or maybe multiple people. You never know. The whole situation about love is very, very complicated. But I will say that to say that never give up. Never give up on anything in your life, and don't give up on somebody that could help you, or at least, the very least, don't give up on yourself. Have some self-respect. Maybe some people that you have met, they're just not right for you. Maybe that is what it is. So don't ever forget about yourself. Think about why you want to be in a relationship. Think about what could being in a relationship even do for you. Think about all that, because a lot of it will help you get to that one conclusion that you need to get to in order to find out whether this was healthy, whether this was wrong, or whether it was right. I don't know. It's a very big question. I could talk about this all damn day. I really could. I really fucking could. But at this point in time, I think I've said all I can say about this. Love is a very, very complicated thing. I don't think anybody should really give up on it, even if we do live in a society that promotes a lot of sex. a lot of adultery, a lot of that crazy stuff, man. And I know at one point to y'all, it can seem hot or even just fulfilling or whatever. It just does whatever for you. In the end, though, like, really, was it worth it? Was it really sustaining for you? Was that really what made you happy? Is that really what made you happy at the end of the day? Anyway, I know this is a more serious video, but I really just wanted to talk about something like this. I know people do like, when I talk apparently about certain little things and analyze and stuff like that. I don't know if it's the voice or whatever. But thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have made it to this far, I just want you guys to know there's nothing wrong with treating y'all significant others right, or trying to do the right thing, or maybe even something that you're into that a lot of people aren't. Just be confident in yourself. Make sure that you're not hurting anybody else by doing what you're doing, and keep living a good life. So I say that all to say that the next video will definitely not be all that serious. I was thinking about doing a try not to laugh challenge, but if you guys want to suggest me doing anything else, then put it in the comment section down below as usual. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, and if you guys like what you saw and you want to see more, why not subscribe to the channel? I have a Twitter, which is KamyKam77, as well as a Discord server. Link in the description down below. All right, y'all, I'm going to go on ahead and go back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on... Oh. I can't say that anymore. It's on the Switch now. All right. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good night or day whenever you're watching this. Stay safe, strong, and healthy. And all right, y'all. Hasta.